Have you ever seen pictures of Great Pyramids in Latin America and wondered why they were there? Weren't pyramids only supposed to be in Egypt? It turns out some of the first people to the Americas built pyramids too, just like the Egyptians. One of those groups of people was the Mayans, who settled here about 4,000 years ago. So the Mayans settled in a part of Mexico called the Yucatan Peninsula. And so if this is a very vague map or image of Mexico, you see at the very top you've got northern Mexico that borders the US, and then at that bottom right hand corner, that is where the Yucatan Peninsula is, getting close to Central America and South America and kind of juts out into the ocean. So this is a picture of a skyline and kind of a brief image of what a modern day city might look like. Well, the Mayans didn't really have cities that looked like this, but it turns out they did actually have a very sophisticated network of city-states. And these city-states were run by kings, and the kings were considered to be gods, and people at the time even thought that these god kings had come from the sun. And they claimed that they could rule these cities, and they expected everyone who lived in the cities and all the Mayans to worship them and to serve them. So stop for a second and think about what today's date is. Okay, so have you ever thought about how you got that date? Well, it turns out someone hundreds and hundreds of years ago decided to create a calendar, right? And they decided that this month would be called January, and that month would be called April, and the month after that would be called May. Well, the Mayans did the same thing. They studied astronomy closely, and they created a 365-day calendar. They had incredible knowledge about astronomy and how the planets operated and how the Earth rotated and revolved around the sun. So they created this calendar, and they created or made certain dates that were important for harvests and planting, and they had dates that were significant for religious reasons, and in many ways their societies operated a lot like ours. So the Mayan empire peaked around 800 AD. During this time, they were a vast empire. They had a strong army. They had a lot of wealth. They had plenty of food, and they had priests and some medical advancements. But over the years, they began to slowly decline. Their empire had been attacked by numerous people. Many different places suffered droughts and sicknesses, and slowly, the Mayan Empire did begin to decline and eventually vanish. So this is a picture of the Mexican flag, and I drew this because today we don't fly the Mayan flag in the Yucatan Peninsula. We fly the Mexican flag. So like I said in the last slide, the Mayan Empire did eventually fall. It was a very slow decline in many ways, and the Mayans began to leave their cities over time because of sickness, because of lack of food, because of changing weather patterns, and just not being able to grow the food. And so over the years, the Mayans slowly left. And today, what we see if we go there is this beautiful architecture remaining, but it is not a vibrant civilization like it once was.